Beasts of Burden by J.J. Colgrove. It's really late in the afternoon, trudging through trails thick with sticks that stab and cut me, rocks that gnaw the skin from my bare feet, sucking pollution into my lungs. What I'm trying to get is only a little further up the hill. One more bend and half a turn and I'll be there. I remember when the clouds were snow-white flowers floating on a sky like water that was in no hurry at all. When I was a young man, I loved my life every time I decided that being busy can go to hell, choosing to instead lie down on my back and fixate on a particular cloud for a while, until it would shapeshift into a fish, then a dinosaur, then the face of the first woman to touch my pecker, adding to the masterpiece with wind of my own accompanied by the smoke from the finest weed in western Humboldt, or Marlboro Red. I always want for weed while in good supply of tobacco, and vice versa. Having plenty of both is as rare as a rocking horse's shit. I have a hell of a time living in the moment, because I am never far enough away from who I was, or close enough to who I want to be, so I really can't stand who I am right now. But here it is, today, yesterday, and tomorrow. The skies are everything but beautiful. They are shades of yellow, rusty brown, and gray, creating a sky of a sickly hue. My efforts to numb my pain had repercussions I had not anticipated. Once that became my primary function, I ran faster away from the truth. Before I knew it, I had poisoned my own world. The lazy blue water and white flowers still exist, just not here, not anymore. I get to where I was hiking, a cleft in a hillside that was just big enough for two people to stand on. It looked into the deepest pool of the creek. On my knees I dig and I dig through sand, stone, and dirt until I unearth a six-pack of Coors Light. When I buried this, I was with my only friend before he left for college. He didn't have a lot of money, so we knew he wouldn't be making many trips back and forth. We promised each other that we would drink these beers when he returned home. That day, I had an ounce of weed, and he had a full pack of cigarettes. We held our stomachs laughing at what we saw in the clouds. We spoke in a way that created a train of thought that only the two of us were truly capable of following. I never saw him again. He drank himself to death. Sitting here watching the current rush on, draining my third beer, I think about what he said that day. There's a road now that leads to this spot, but I walk up the stream because it reminds me of life. We crawl and scratch to not allow the water to win. We fight so hard just to reach a crumb of peace. The hardest thing about being in the struggle is knowing that there are people in this life with the same 10 fingers and 2 eyes that we have, and the same heart, but for them, everything in life just worked out. Somehow they have more control over the thermostat than us. They know nothing of what people like us go through every fucking day of our lives. They don't care about us. How could they? They don't even know about us. We're all the same lesser person to them. It is as unfair as the stars that shine above us at night. They get to have such a beautiful view, while we're all the way down here. When I know that it's only a crumb of peace waiting for me, it makes it easier to let go and submit to the current so it can have its way with me, thrashing me, washing me back to where I began. It makes it harder to start again. It feels so damn good to let go. For just a second. I walk away from the rest of the mud-covered six-pack. I know he will never come back and drink them, but it didn't feel right for me to. I get to the top of the adjacent hill where the road is. I have to piss. I walk behind a tree and do my business. Standing there listening to the last drops drain out, I hear some people pass by. They are running and laughing. I zip up and go take a look at these voices. They were a group of 3 naughty-ass boys ditching school. They ran into the water and splashed around, taking no notice of me. One of them does notice the beer. "Ah, check this out!" He runs up and passes the beers out. "How do we open them?" one asks. "My dad showed me how, like this." He pops the tops with a lighter. "I don't know, they could be expired." "Don't be a pussy." They cheers and take a drink. Ugh. They all cough and gag together. I walk down the road, still struggling to breathe, but inside of me, a decision has been made. No obstacle, be it an earthly battle or one to take place in the heavenlies, can extinguish this rage. Dust has been cast into the eyes of patience and clemency, driving from them the tears belonging to a fury that could only be quenched by the shedding of blood. The beacons have been lit. The bells have been struck. The banners are gathered. The oak that has long slumbered in the acorn has been woken by the shuffling feet of angels. Riders mount. The mirage and his mighty men of valor are on the move. The world quickly approaches the hour of their wrath. When it is here, you dare not look upon our faces. I won't give up like my dead friend. I won't resent my small beginnings. I will challenge stream after stream, struggling after crumbs until I chase down the baker and take entire loaves from him. Then I'm going to reach back and do everything I can to help those still in the struggle. I'll build roads to peace. Every time my demons are feeling froggy, I'll show them who the bull of this forest really is. I'll hold them down on the ground and stick my dick in their mouth just because I can. I was powerful enough to poison my entire world. I am even more powerful to make an antidote. Maybe my only antidote is to be in the fight, because it is in the friction that I can see clearly. I can feel, relate, connect, and hang on to my humanity as tightly as I do my life by battling to preserve it. There is no peak that can satisfy my lust for the frenzy. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I only know that I am. I can turn this thing around. I can win.